Hey guys, for the 5 here with episode number 31 of our Fulham career on FIFA 22. We're kicking today's episode off looking at the squad. Obviously, last episode we just finished the transfer window, and now we're going to look through the squad, look over the players, and just look at the overalls. You can see Webber 86, Maddison 84, Ward-Prowse 83, Ismaili Sarr's 85. We have got a very good midfield and attack. Defence is getting there, they're 80 plus, but it's not quite where the kind of attacking midfield and the two wingers. There are the three best players. We've got to build around them, and that is exactly what we're going to look to do. Obviously, maybe we can improve in the striker position. Dennis, we could improve upon him. Maybe that'll be our big signing next season. But to kick off today's episode, in terms of gameplay, we are taking on Chelsea at Craven Cottage. We've started this season off pretty decently. Got a point against Man City, and then we have won every other game this season. And you can see there, we kind of love a bit of skill from Max Aaron's forces. I think it's Mancini they've signed from Roma. Force him to tackle his own player. Doesn't really come to anything, but pass it around a bit more. Just trying to find a bit of space. Roberts, who's in some fine form, finds Ward-Prowse. He strikes it, but Mendy easily catches that one. It's one of Mendy's specialities. The kind of quick reaction saves into the top corners. It's what he does the best as Webber, though. Just half an hour into this game. Plays the ball off to Harrison Reed. My apologies there. But we are 1-0 to the good. It is a banger. You know, excuse the mistaken identity there. Don't Google Riley Reed. Don't do it. But we do score right into that top left-hand corner. And, you know, you take a look at the replays here. From this angle, strikes it pure, strikes it sweet, beats the keeper, and it is just so perfect into that corner. This angle is the best one. Look from long range, just does not dip at all. It gets up there, it stays up there, and it only starts to dip once it's hit the crossbar. Really nice goal to put us 1-0 to the good. And as we intercept the ball here just before half-time, if we can double our lead, that would be brilliant. There's a lovely touch from Ward-Prowse, takes him past Chilwell, switch of players brilliant to Riley Webber. There's one man in the middle, and we're eventually going to find him in Maddison. Lovely touch, lovely turn, a lovely strike. We're 2-0 to the good against Chelsea at Craven Cottage, and this derby is going pretty well. And when they give away the ball from kickoff to Dennis and he finds Maddison, we're just thinking, can we even make it 3 as Roberts drills it across? But unfortunately for ourselves, Edouard Mendy does get a hand to it and does deny us a chance of making it 3 before half-time. But just after half-time, we have another chance here to make it 3 as a poor clearance to Reece James can't quite find their way out from the back, and Webber is there, and eventually Maddison is found. He's lovely ball roll, passes behind, finds Dennis, and Dennis has a knack of scoring against these top teams in the league. He just somehow does it. He's a big game player, is Emmanuel Dennis, and we have just gone and made it 3-0 against Chelsea in the Premier League. This season is just getting better and better. Unfortunately, just before the 70th minute though, they do make it 3-1. But, you know, there's not really any chance of them coming back in this one. I'm confident enough that we will still secure all 3 points in this one, even though they did score. It's against the run of play. It is completely against the run of play. We have been dominant throughout this game. And we're kind of looking to get the reward that we deserve, you know, from our performances. As Williams subbed on for Maddison, he's eventually going to find Ward-Prowse, making a lovely darting run from deep. And just 2 minutes after they score, we go right down the other end and score our 4th goal of this game. Ward-Prowse with his first goal for the club. Beautiful, you love to see it. And that is exactly what we wanted. The celebration, the jubilation of beating a local rival. Nothing quite tops it. And we are top of the league. We're top of the league. Poor start from Liverpool, a poor start from Man City. We've already beaten Chelsea in the league, so we're above them. And now we are sitting at top, we're sitting pretty. And there's a real chance we can get Champions League qualification at a minimum. The league is possible, but Champions League football is a minimum for me. And speaking of European football, we are in the Europa League here today, taking on Sporting. You can see by the rotation, so by the team, we're playing a rotated team, a 4-4-2, with all the youngsters in there, and a couple of the players that maybe not quite get as many minutes nowadays. because of signings we made in the summer, the likes of Chowdhury, Chalobah, Carvalho. But the new boys are out there, the likes of Itzbegovic, our Bosnian striker. Obviously, he is the regen of Dzeko. We checked his birthday, it matches with Edin Dzeko, so he is the regen. But the one position where we don't quite have any backup is right back. It's Max Aarons who is there, and he is probably going to play every single game this season until maybe January, where we might sign a new backup right back, or we might sign one from the academy. But speaking of strikers, it's Izet Begovic does score on his debut in the Europa League. He almost gets a second there. Lovely pass from Liam Delap. Didn't quite work out before half-time, and it is still only going to be 1-0, but our Bosnian and Herzegovinian striker does make it 1-0. And that's what you want to see against Sporting. They're the most difficult team in the competition. Sorry, in the group stage with us. The other teams we should be able to beat quite easily. It's just that away trip to Sporting might be a bit of a hiccup. But other than that, if we can pick up all 3 points everywhere else, I do think we can do exactly that and progress through to hopefully the latter stages of this competition. You can see there 5 attempts from Izet Begovic. Unfortunately, he only scored once. Bit of poor finishing, but he's still young. He will learn and he will improve as we take on Arsenal in today's game. Final game of this episode at the Emirates. And we're going to look to hope for another big scalp to end this episode. We've already had Chelsea. We've got a draw against City. We've already played half of the big 6. Can we get a good result against the first 3? Then we just got to mainly focus on Liverpool. Spurs beat us a few times last season, and we actually did quite good against Manchester United last season as well. So there's no real struggle apart from the teams we've already played, you know. We can get results here, that would be perfect. But 2 early chances from Arsenal, and unfortunately they sweat the ball across. Luka Jovic is there. He seems to be thriving here in Arsenal after a poor little spell at Real Madrid. He's moved to London and things are going well. You can say the same for Martin Odegaard, his teammate. But they've signed Adama Traore from Wolves. And let me tell you now, he was a nuisance all game. You know, we've got Sigmas and Robinson are no grouches when it comes to pace, but Adama Traore is just a different animal. As we do get back on level terms, James Maddison staking his claim to be the player of the episode. And I think he's probably just gone, and if he can get another one and secure us the victory in this one, he has gone and secured it with ease. No real competition. You know, he was brilliant in the game against Chelsea. Didn't play in the game against Sporting, but if he's already got 1 goal in this one, we've still got another just under an hour left to go. Can he get another? But Tomiyasu on this right hand side whips it across to the back post. Traore's there, and I think he's got to be doing better in that situation. You know, he has got the physicality to outstrength and outjump and outpace his man, but thankfully Carvalho was there and equal to it, put him under a bit of pressure and did deny him that chance. And what was I saying? Because in the 43rd minute, James Maddison goes and makes it 2-1 to Fulham. Lovely worked goal, sweated across to him, give Arsenal a bit of their own medicine after what they did to us. And with 4 minutes remaining, a chance here. Eventually it's going to find Ward-Prowse, just trying to find a bit of space. You know, we know how good he is from long range. We're just trying to find that space, and we found it there, and he hit the crossbar. And it is eventually going to find him again. Can't quite find that space again. They kind of got onto it at that point, and Odegaard does make quite a dirty tackle. But again, he's not just a long range specialist, he is a set piece specialist. 25 yards out, does not matter for James Ward-Prowse. Going to try and knuckle this one over the wall, over to the bottom corner, but Ramsdale, not a bad keeper in his own right, does make it equal to that one. But James Maddison with 2 goals in this one. From 1-0 down, he has single-handedly dragged us to all 3 points in this one. And we are going to sim this game in the Carabao Cup against Brighton. We'll simulate the early rounds, maybe till we get to maybe the quarterfinals. From there on out, we'll start playing them. But yeah, this was a very, very good episode, all things considered. And we do go 1-0 up through Hamza Chowdhury. Not really the most likely of players that you think would score. But we are playing the rotational young 11. You can see there the likes of Rodak. Perez is another one who will probably play every single game in this lineup along with Aarons, just because we don't have the best rotation at centre-back. We obviously have Rodon, our Welsh centre-back, but other than that, there's not really anyone we can rely upon. But we do win the game 1-0. Hamza Chowdhury is the resulting goal scorer. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please like, subscribe, and peace.